joining us now is a man who might have more information on all of it. We assume he does. Emmy award-winning television host. Now he's with ESPN. He's an analyst, a pundit, and an insider. Friend of the program. Deserves an award for his work alongside Tone during the draft spectacular this year in Green Bay, Wisconsin. They won't give him an award, though, because it was on our show. So we will not pay the money to apply for an award.
Correct.
That is not how we view awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager.
Yes.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing awesome. I died laughing at the vat of mashed potatoes because that might be me. I the same deal. It's like I'm ordering what I want, and you can have the poutine, you can have the escargot. If I want a vat of mashed potatoes and I'm at a 5-star restaurant, if you're offering me, I'm going to eat the vat of mashed potatoes.
And it better be good, too. He's expecting those to be good mashed potatoes. This is a nice restaurant. I'll go down to Applebee's down there and get some good mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah. Vat.
You guys better have a good vat around here of these taters.
Yeah, I love it.
Shregs, let's talk about all the shit, okay?
Yeah.
Jerry Jones, awesome. Then J.J. Watt's like, bro, what are you doing? First day of training camp. Then Micah reposts J.J. Watt saying, bro, what are you doing in this entire thing? Mike is on his 5th year. So that is, obviously, you get the option to pick up the 5th year. Very rarely at important positions do we see the player play through the entire 5th year without getting a big-time deal, especially if the person is considered a long-term pillar of said franchise, which I think since draft night, Micah has been considered because he's been a Cowboy fan his whole life. Him and Jerry hit it off. Then Jerry says these things. Is there a chance Jerry doesn't pay Micah? That seems like a 1 in a billion chance that he doesn't pay him. But is that where we're headed? And what are your thoughts on how it's all kind of unfolding?
I think he's going to get paid. And I think Jerry intends to pay him. But Jerry Jones is as he wants to win the deal. And the art of the deal and the business is almost as entertaining to Jerry as the football itself. So he's not going to be bullied around by an agent who he claimed he didn't know the name of earlier this offseason. He's not going to be bullied around by a player who's very active on a podcast and social media, and he's not going to be bullied around by us in the media. So I think Jerry's having a little fun here, and at the expense, it might be the goodwill of a player who has lived up to expectations, who has done everything you can ask for, and wants to be the face of the Dallas Cowboys. I would think before the end of the season, just like they did before the start of the season, just like they timed it perfectly with Dak in week 1, we have news just as Jay Glazer's getting on set, like, or hey, CeeDee Lamb just as we're finishing training camp. Like, I think Jerry likes that splash and Jerry likes to take it to the wire, but at what cost? In my eyes, I'm with J.J. Watt on this one, where it's what is the win? What is the win in even tempting fate and putting that stuff out in the ether with a player like Micah Parsons? But this is how Jerry does business. The guys do get paid, and sometimes he's got to pay a premium for it because he does it at the last second instead of doing it earlier in the process. But in his eyes, I made you wait, and I got the full value of my contract that you signed with me.
Yeah, I hope they get the deal done. And it, just like with CD and just like Dak, there's always some conjecture, and then inevitably they end up paying him so much money. And you talk about winning the deal and The Art of the Deal, which is a book written by somebody.
Sun Tzu.
Who was it? A guy? I don't know. He doesn't like the commander's name. I know that. But anyway.
Whatevers. Yeah, you're right. That's The Art of the Deal is a big thing. And Jerry's a good businessman. I think he's a good businessman. But I think the way he's handled like this type of shit, I think is a flaw. Personally, it just in his repertoire, because he's going to end up overpaying for it. And then he's going to give his quote once again. He's going to say, anything that's ever been worth anything to me, people have told me I've overpaid for or whatever. And it's like, I can't wait for that moment. I don't know when it's going to happen. But congrats to Mike on his big deal that he has certainly earned. We would assume in everybody's eyes in Dallas and around the country. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Schrags, flipping to Cincinnati right now. We talked about Mike Brown. He was speaking yesterday. First off, Trey Hendrickson, he posted a picture. He's back in Florida, I guess. He left town. And Shamar Stewart. Like, who of these guys gets signed first? I would assume Shamar gets signed. When could that be? And also, like, what's the future for Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati?
This is just brutal. It's brutal because for the entire offseason, I've been saying on this show and on others, like, the priorities for Cincinnati were Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And when they got those deals done, they were like, we did it, right, fans? Like, we did it. We finally did it. We broke the bank on 2-star players, and we are good to go. And then this Trey Hendrickson thing, has completely taken any of the goodwill away from it. And then the Shamar Stewart thing comes out of left field when you start putting in clauses that they've never done as a team before. And that's taken down the team, and it puts you right back in the same conversation you were in when Carson Palmer was unhappy with his contracts, and when those early 2000s teams that were so good had to be dismantled because the team might have bungled the relationships. Or AJ, as you know, when you were in that market for so long, and you know that like this is not viewed as the same way as the New York Yankees or the Dallas Cowboys or some of those premier franchises. That said, Trey Hendrickson, they are not going to do what he wants on his timetable, and they have made that clear. And he has gone out of his way to be very transparent, coming on your show, which I thought he was very eloquent, and then meeting with local reporters in the offseason at the practice where he was attending. And then now an Instagram post that looks like a John Denver song, I'm out. And like, this is it. Here's my sunset.
Give me back to God's country.
That's it. God's country. That's it. Morgan Whalen, right out of Saturday Night Live.
Morgan Wallen, please, Jesus. And that's why he's saying give me God's country there as you represent New York.
I'm a New Waylon Jennings.
Yeah, with Doug, by the way.
Yeah. Did you see Spade come out as Joe Dirt?
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Randy Johnson, pretty cool. Yeah. Selling out stadiums everywhere. Yeah, the entirety. Trey Hendrickson, though. He's not happy. I mean,
No.
he's not
Are they
happy.
offering him garbage, Shregs? We're hearing a report. Are they offering him just garbage, or what is it?
They're not offering him Myles Garrett money, and they're not offering him TJ Watt money, and they see it as fulfill your contract. We just, let's fulfill the contract and let's get to work. So they're digging their heels in. You heard Mike Brown. I think, Katie Blackburn, his daughter Elizabeth, like this is a family that wants the Bengals. It's their family business. They want the Bengals to be as good as they possibly can be, but they're not looking to necessarily pay him the same money as the other top players at the position have. And Trey, I don't know where the rubber hits the road here, but truth of the matter is his age and the production has been there. They're looking at what the future is of this team, and he might be looking at what I've accomplished, and I think I'm owed this. You can go either way on it. The player side, of course, you say pay him. From the team budgetary side, they looked at this entire offseason and said Higgins and Chase are our top two priorities. Trey Hendrickson is not because he's under contract. So I'm not sure how this plays out, but let's see what his will is, and let's see if he's convicted enough to just say, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to show up. I'll eat the fines. Let's see how you do without my 18 and a half sacks a year.
And Trey has said that the last two off seasons, they've told him, we'll take care of you, we'll take care of you, we'll take care of you. And then it comes time to get taken care of. And now Mr. Brown saying, we gave him a raise. I mean, we've given him a raise.
Come on.
And he said he's still under contract, so maybe he's silly me for even giving him a raise or whatever. And it was like, oh my God, he's nowhere near.
Nope.
They're nowhere. Like, they are in very different headspaces. If you listen to Mr. Brown and you listen to Trey Hendrickson talk about it at all, and it's like, Trey, we have said, too nice of a guy maybe for this situation. Him heading to Florida.
No, that was it.
That's a big stand by Trey Hendrickson. We didn't think he would do this.
He kind of said it from the get-go. Hey, you guys rip on me 16 or 17 more times, I'm out of here. And he's finally reached his breaking point.
All right, see, that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't like that you were saying that, but I think he was trying to maintain doing it the right way in his eyes while doing it in a manner that he didn't want to do it, which is being loud. Like, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. That's kind of how it is. But he didn't want.
Can I add, though, like, when you look at this thing in this team, their offense wasn't the problem. It never is. It's their defense. It's horrendous. And they fire Lou Anarumo, who I think is an excellent defensive coordinator and is going to be a great addition to another team that happens to be in your backyard. I think he's the absolute man. They fire Lou, and then they hire Al Golden, who everyone's like, this is great. But when you have Trey Hendrickson and then you draft a defensive end at 17th overall, those are pretty much your top two defensive players going into the season as far as what you have and what you hope for. If you have a guy in the top 20 you're taking at that position, and to not have either as camp starts is a major L. I don't care how you look at it, who wins this thing. To not have either one of those guys on the first day of training camp is a huge, huge L for the team. No matter who's right or wrong and what clause is written where, I don't care about any of that stuff. You had the worst defense in the division. You got lit up in every big game. Joe Burrow and that offense took care of business. I would think that this is looked as a great disappointment to not have those two players on the field.
Schrager, as you've always said, can't spell Bengals without L's.
That's right.
Can't do it. That's what you've been saying. Not me. I'm just saying you've.
Can't spell Morgan Whalen without an L either. I'm sorry about that one.
Well, two of them, actually, and it's Wallen. Jesus Christ, once again. All right? Okay. All right. That guy will come to your city and sell out your stadium.
I like that guy. I like that Tate McRae.
Well,
That's what I want. That's what I want. That's
when he comes in on that second verse, I'm like, ooh.
Schrager's in the country music a little bit.
I listen to The Highway on Sirius. I love it. There's like 6 songs they play. That's all I know. So
a little city cowboy up there. Okay, we like that, Schrags. We love that. Also, go ahead. Buy Dirt. Is that what you said?
Like a song from like 10 years ago. Yeah, I just referenced it.
No, Jordan Davis. That's a great song.
Banger.
Yeah, it's a great song. And all these good songs you're referencing, the messaging and storyline through it all is that's what keeps it good.
It's beautiful.
Now there's old school country and there's contemporary country now because
I don't know shit about Brooks and Dunn. Like I don't know anything about Alan Jackson.
Ma Maria?
Come on.
I love my modern country. I'm in on it. I love it.
Okay, so as somebody who's from New York City getting into the country world, you should learn a couple things about like George Strait, and a couple other OG country folks.
Dolly.
So that Dolly's a great one. So whenever you get into a conversation, Beyonce, obviously Grammy Award-winning country musician, which has potentially created an entire another genre of Shabuzi, certainly good conversation to be had. Darius Rucker also, absolute dog around there.
Yep.
But you should just learn a couple things about the old school country so that whenever you get into the country world inevitably, which is seemingly pretty
I
hospitable.
think it's pretty much music right now. Like it's either country or hip hop. Like
summer,
that's
baby.
Yeah, it's summer every single time. But you learn some stuff about George Strait, you'll be right in there, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be right in there, and the country community is an awesome one as a chance because they all watch Game Day. So all these country musicians watch Game Day, and they all, not all of them, I guess, but every guy that I've met, big sports, like love the sports.
Zach Bryan just sold out the MetLife Stadium, which is all New Yorkers in Connecticut and New Jersey. Sold it out 3 different nights, and everyone who went said it was absolutely unbelievable. And Springsteen showed up, so you don't have to sell it to me. Like I get it. Now the 80s and 90s, I wish I had more of a knowledge. I did not grow up with it then.
Did Springsteen cut any promos out there? I know he was pissing some people off. That was awesome. Anyways, to the country music world, we appreciate you being awesome for us. I'm new to the world. I was not a big country fan growing up. And then you get a chance to meet these dudes and ladies, and then you get the songwriting process. You get to experience that like I did. Then the history down in Nashville, Music Row, the Ryman Theater Auditorium. I mean, there is like... It's a cool thing to learn about.
They do the CMAs. I think that's on ABC, or one of them's on ABC. You should be involved with that.
No, Peyton Manning's hosting that one, brother. Yeah, and he's got the accent, actually. Yeah, he's in there. All right,
Him and Luke Bryan
got that thing unlocked. But the country music world, I think you could say that their award shows are the most star-studded. Like they all buy in.
They all show?
They all buy in. Like their shit is always great. It's a great community. I think there are a lot of really talented and good people. Now let's get back to a little NFL chatter, shall we? There's some other outstanding contract situations that are taking place around the NFL with superstars, not just Trey Hendrickson. Go ahead, D-Butch.
Yeah, I know GM Adam Peters, head coach Dan Quinn just recently spoke. Didn't get a chance to watch that yet since we've been on air, but we know Terry McLaurin, he's been pissed off about his deal, not sure if he's going to show up or not. Any update there, what's going on with Terry and the Commanders?
Yeah, Adam had his press conference this morning and was very top line. We want Terry in camp. We appreciate Terry. These conversations are ongoing, but let's really peel the onion back here. This has been the first piece of adversity in Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, and Josh Harris's entire tenure when it comes to the football team on the field, where there's actually an unhappy player with his contract. And this one's tough, because McLaurin is the bridge from the dark days of what this organization was before these guys took over and before Jaden Daniels got there. And he was Jaden's number one guy and has done everything you could possibly ask for from a veteran wide receiver. In fact, he wore the C as a wide receiver, which is pretty rare as the captain of the team, and is beloved. And Cliff loves him, and DQ loves him. All those guys love him. He's got a year left on his contract. He's looking at the numbers and saying, wait a second, I am not being paid what I'm deserved. That said, in a similar way as Trey Hendrickson, you look at the age, you look at the budget, you look at where we're going. They didn't account for an unhappy Terry McLaurin and a potential holdout from Terry McLaurin. They went and they got Deebo Samuel for a year. They got Laramie Tunzel. They went all in on those veterans thinking, okay, last year we put this together with a bunch of veteran pieces and we got lucky with a couple rookies and it worked out. It was great. Now we're going to ascend and we're going to go for it. Well, you can't go for it without Terry McLaurin on the field. From Terry's side, he has done everything right. He thinks he's paid well below, market rate for what he's produced. And yet, if you were to list the top 10 wide receivers, I know ESPN did on a Jeremy Fowler poll, I don't know where you put Terry McLaurin. He's certainly not in that Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, Justin Jefferson, those top guys who are ascending.
Neighbors?
I don't know.
I put Neighbors in because
that's
he's a
your New York bias.
Yeah, it sounds like you just watch a lot of New York Giants highlights, which I respect.
Okay,
Malik Neighbors might be a guy.
Garrett Wilson just got his number. Do you pay him what Garrett Wilson got?
More.
Or you pay him more? Okay.
More. Terry,
so
we are a show that thinks Terry is
I get it.
The guy. Effort.
Coming off
catch
career
radius,
leader,
everything he does. We are a Terry. You want Terry in your locker room, we think.
Absolutely.
Not that all these other guys you don't, but I'm just saying for who Terry is and what Terry is, and also the culture you're trying to establish, him being everything that it is. And he catches in traffic. He runs the hard routes. He's not scared to do anything. It's like Terry McLaurin is a guy you want on your team. That is, we think very highly.
And you want happy on your team. You look at other teams like Philly, for instance. When you pay guys like Jordan early, you pay Saquon when you don't need to. You play Jalen Hurts early, that does something for the morale of the team. And when you have a rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who's going to be on a rookie deal for at least another couple years, you bring in Tunsil, you bring in Deebo. This is a guy you want to come in there, be happy about his deal, and get paid. Yeah, Garrett earned it. All these guys earned it, but Terry has definitely
doesn't think Terry
earned it.
top 10.
Wow. Top 10 is wild. I got Terry top.
I'm asking if you put him there.
Hey, listen, I didn't put any numbers on this. I'm just saying, hey, are we doing that? That's what you just said.
Put off a career year.
That's the debate, though. That's the debate. Do you pay him based on what he's been in the culture and say, hey, you know what? We know we just gave you, a giant contract 2 years ago, but let's redo it and give you even more because of it? Or do you say, hey, finish the contract and let's see where we're at the end of this thing? And all I'm saying is it might get done tomorrow. What I'm saying is Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and Lance Newmark and all those brilliant guys in D.C. who have done everything right since the day they got there, this is their first fork in the road moment, and it just happens to be with the model citizen and the face of the franchise going back not only since they got there, but years ago when this was a team that was in the dregs of society and in the NFL. McLaurin was the shining light and was like, don't worry, you could put me on anything, you could put me out there in public, and I will represent this franchise in the right way, when maybe previous ownership didn't and maybe some previous players on the team did not. So do you reward him for all that, or do you say, finish out the contract and we'll revisit this when we know what our budget is for next year?
This is Spotrac, I assume? No, what is this?
This is overthecap.com.
Overthecap.com.
What do they say? I can't read. I got the small eyes. What's it say?
Yeah, over the cap. So he's down at $23 million per year. He's going into his last year, so obviously his contract was signed 4 years ago, probably 5 years ago. Jamar Chase making $40 a year. He's making $23 too. I assume he wants to get into the 30s.
Probably mid-30s, I would assume.
34.
Yeah,
Right above Garrett.
And I would like to let the Washington Commanders know, currently their name, whatever, that if you guys don't want to pay it, we would here in Indianapolis.
Absolutely.
We would love him back here in Indianapolis. And I think there's a lot of other players. And you talked about this being their first thing they've had to figure out. There was a strongly worded Truth Social post that they're going to have to they're going to have to figure out as well as they piece that stadium together. But I'm excited to watch them do it. Good ownership group can lead through a lot of things. That is real. I think having great guidance at the top of a team matters. And this is one of those situations they're going to have to figure out, navigate. That stadium thing is going to have to be something they're going to have to navigate. That's real. The naming of the team is going to have to be something they navigate. It's like, this is, hey, here we go now. You had success. Now you're in it.
Josh Harris bought this team, and he bought them at a premium, and everyone was celebrating for the last 18 months. This has been it has been a world-class parade all the way to the NFC Championship game. This offseason, they made two big moves in getting Deebo and Tunzel, and there is real Super Bowl talk between this stuff with the president and now this McLaurin stuff on the field. There's actual decisions to be made, and there might be some actual strife involved. It's not going to always be parades and roses and rainbows in the NFL. And for the first time in this new tenure, Washington is facing some of this. And I saw, the press secretary today came out, or yesterday, and she's like, the president is not kidding on this. And then the mayor came out today, and she's like, well, we're at the 1 yard line, and from what I gather, we're almost there. It's going to get... You want to predict how that's going to go? I'm not.
The president say, you ever watch Cardinals versus Steelers, Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl? You know what James Harrison did? That's at the 1 yard. James Harrison did. That is wild that is happening because they need a new stadium. Bad. I mean,
and they want a new stadium. It was the best news they could possibly ask for.
I think we all celebrated that they were getting a new stadium strictly because the lawsuit that was inevitable, whether it was the feces in the cups in the head or it was the actual barricades falling.
Almost took out a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, it's legit. On that note, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Schrags, a lot of debate kind of came up this week and early last week about Jalen Hurts and how, he really, them winning the Super Bowl had nothing to do with him. It was the great defense. It was Saquon. It was his receivers. Even Sirianni, people are kind of coming back around and saying, like, hey, without Sirianni, this guy's nothing. Why do you think that has become the narrative with Jalen Hurts after he won a Super Bowl? And do you think people are ever going to kind of give him his flowers as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL? Or do you think we're just going to continually have this conversation over and over again, given how good the Eagles' roster is?
I have like a meta take on this, and it's kind of like a sports media story more than a Jalen Hurts story. That list came out. He was put at number 9. I was hosting Get Up last week because
great work. You did a great job.
Yep.
Thanks, bro. I loved it. It was fun.
You did well.
My big thing was like, if you have a qualm with Jaden Daniels, who's only 1 year in, being above Jalen Hurts, I get it. And if you think he's better than Justin Herbert, totally, I'll give you that. But by and large, like, you're not putting Jalen Hurts in the same conversation as maybe Lamar or Burrow or Mahomes or Allen and whatever. Then everyone got super defensive. I just don't know who the person hating on Jalen Hurts is. Is there a person in the media who's like, Jalen Hurts sucks? Is there a feeling in the media that Jalen Hurts sucks? I feel like this is what we call a straw man. And it is what the Eagles use for motivation. It's what Eagles fans use for motivation. If you're so sure that Jalen Hurts is being disrespected, show me the article or the person who has said a negative word about Jalen Hurts since that Super Bowl performance where, by and large, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, not for the first time, but for the second time, and did everything you could possibly ask. My theory on the Eagles, and it goes with Sirianni, who I thought was great at the ESPYs as well, and I saw you guys posted some photos. I know you appreciate Nick's work. I'm a huge Sirianni fan. They are the perfect coach and quarterback for that team. So if you want to play fantasy football and say that, he wouldn't do what he does if he wasn't on the Eagles, well, he is on the Eagles. It's the same thing as like someone walking, down like Beverly Hills and being like, I don't like that $20 million house. Well, guess what, buddy? You're never getting a $20 million house. It doesn't matter. Like, this doesn't affect you. It doesn't impact you. The Eagles have Jalen Hurts. He's paid top dollar. He is fantastic. They are Super Bowl champions, and they have Nick Sirianni, who's paid top dollar, and they're Super Bowl. You can hate all you want, but I don't have the person who's like denigrating either one of them. I just think it's a good argument to be making that he's disrespected or dismissed. I thought 9 was about right. If you want to say he should be 7 or 5, fine. But he's not 1, 2, 3, or 4 if you're looking at it that way. That's my take.
Interesting takes. Obviously, I love you starting the pod as you're hosting First Take. You jumped right in there.
Hell yeah.
You said, I've been watching. I understand what the game is. Let me go ahead and put a list out here. Super Bowl champ.
List season,
He's
baby.
almost not in top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. He dropped a dime in the second half to basically cement that game on the biggest stage and everything like that. I get it. But you putting him above Joe Burrow?
I don't think so.
You putting him above Josh Allen? You put him above Lamar Jackson? You put him above Patrick Mahomes? I think it's tough to do strictly because we have so much great young quarterback play happening around the NFL right now. But Jalen Hurts being an absolute dog in Philadelphia is awesome.
And all the while, Pat, like, we're doing this and we're screaming on TV and the tweets are going nuts and the whole thing. Jalen Hurts is posing for photos in Greece with Michael Jordan. I'm like, who's getting the last laugh here? Do you think he's really hung up on this? Like, he's fine and they're fine. And you've got Nick Sirianni at the ESPYs accepting awards, having a good time. By the way, appreciated what you said on Shane Gillis yesterday. If you don't like it, you don't like it. He's a comedian. He was funny as hell.
Yeah, we're laughing, dude. It's funny. It's funny. It's like that is.
They're jokes.
He's not allowed to say that. A joke? We're not allowed to say a joke anymore. Got it. I know that was happening there for a bit. But I think we all kind of said we're not doing that anymore, right? Then we all kind of moved by. We all kind of realized that life is much more,
Life is short.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah,
Fun.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to hate everything all the time. You're allowed to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of DJ Khaled's run right now. I don't know if you guys have been following along. He's in the middle of making an album.
Anymore.
He's been on 40
You out on DJ Khaled?
What's that?
You out on DJ
What
Khaled?
happened?
Yeah,
Really?
What was it?
some things. You know.
Anyways,
Scratch golfer.
he's been traveling to 4 or 5. All he's doing is on his album tour. I don't know if we're ever getting one. I mean, he's been promoting making this album for a long time.
PR.
But his big move is you're allowed to be happy. That's what he's been saying. It's okay to be happy, I think, is like his message. And it's like, that's a good message there, DJ Khaled. It is okay to be happy. You're also allowed to be pissed off. But doesn't mean that the thing that pisses you off should just not be allowed to exist anymore, but we love your passion. All right, let's move along to another topic that we love. You just mentioned a man, Josh Allen, there. Go ahead, Conrad.
Yeah, Schrager, let's head up to Buffalo. They actually just announced that they're going to be bringing back their red helmets this season. I assume everyone in Buffalo, all Bills fans, have been waiting for this for a long time. Usually Josh Allen does come out with this thing on with a sweet visor during training camp, so that's sweet. Then there was a photo released of the stadium, and it makes their current stadium basically look like a Texas high school stadium. Still very nice, still worth a lot of money, but not what their new one will be.
I would like to say that this picture is a perfect depiction of why teams and cities are looking for a new stadium, especially if they're outdated. It's like, hey, this is literally what's possible nowadays with what we had back in the day. This is like a perfect, if cities are pitching for a new stadium, it's like, hey, just look at what we can do nowadays with engineering and everything we have versus what we were able to do back then. Congrats to the Buffalo area on getting this new stadium. It looks electrifying. And these Bisons, from what I've heard, chests are going to be high. Now, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Colin.
they're growing a bit. No, but to your point, like if you pull that photo back up, if you look at the location of the old stadium too, like, hey, no could probably fit there? Casino, maybe a hotel, maybe some restaurants. Like the amount of
Good casinos in New York.
Yeah, great place for it. It's wide open right there. But talking of Buffalo, Schrager, it feels like the only problem they really have right now is James Cook is a hold in, even though now looking at it from the outside, damn near this is kind of the way to do it peacefully, if you will, in this day and age now. But with James Cook being the only question mark, how do you feel about Buffalo? They got Josh Palmer in free agency from L.A. That's kind of what was one of their big signings when it came to the offensive side. But do you think this is the year for Buffalo? Is this going to be the season where they can finally talk some kind of legitimate shit to Patriots fans? Or do you think that the Buffalo Bills still are going to try and figure it out and then inevitably get down to the AFC Championship?
Look, I think the AFC East will be better than it was last year when you had two horrendous teams in the Patriots and the Jets, and the Dolphins didn't live up to expectations. So I think the competition is going to be a little harder in the division. But if I had to scope it out right now, looking at the AFC and how loaded the North is and how loaded the West is, I would think that the Bills have the inner track on that 1 seed, and it's not going to be the Chiefs as the 1 seed, and it won't be the Ravens as the 1 seed, that the Bills can still take care of their business, do what they do, and secure home field advantage, and then it goes through Buffalo in January, and that's the ultimate hope. And they had that 2 years ago.
Yep.
And they lost, obviously in that heartbreaker to the Chiefs in the divisional round. And then, of course, you look at what happened last year, and they had to go into Arrowhead, and it didn't work out the way they wanted, and they lose in that round. I would think they are going to be, if not the 1 seed, they'll be the 2 seed. To me, everyone's back from the coaching staff. They bring all this great talent back on the field. Josh is married and happy and financially secure. Losses like Mac Hollins, I don't know if he was their leading touchdown guy, and Mac Hollins had a great, but they were so deep at wide receiver that you have to think that the Bills are going to be right back where they were. They just have to get over the hump. And I did a list of top 5 storylines last week on Get Up, and I thought this is number 2. It's Josh and it's Lamar together in the same conversation. At some point, you have your Michael Jordan moment where you beat Isaiah and Dumars. And at some point, you have your LeBron moment where you get past the Celtics and the Pistons and you do it. At some point, they have to do it to really cement this thing. And I feel like this is the year for Buffalo, and it's all there in the cards. They just have to get there again.
Are the Chiefs dead, Trakes, because they lost in the Super Bowl? They're the reigning AFC champions. Everybody, and if we've seen Travis, we're thinking to ourselves,
Talking about someone looking
good.
in shape, yeah.
And tall and sweet. That's a good way to describe that. Travis looks sweet right now. Looks taller than he's ever looked, which might mean he looks leaner than he's been in some time. Patrick Mahomes has had an entire offseason of nobody expecting shit from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, and last taste of football that he has, ass beating by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, what Schrager's saying too about how Jordan beat Isaiah Thomas and LeBron beat the Celtics and the Pistons. In this situation, Mahomes is more so the Jordan and LeBron, and Josh Allen is more so the Isaiah Thomas Dumars, just hasn't gotten it done yet.
And there's a chance Josh Allen's career ends with him winning 6 straight Super Bowls.
Bingo.
There's a chance that their team could.
I'll give you this.
And there's a chance.
I'll give you this on Mahomes.
But then there's a chance Patrick Mahomes wins for the next 15 years.
And he never gets to a Super
Mahomes
Bowl.
has been to 7 straight conference championship games. I mean, insane stuff.
Very good. It's all he's ever done.
He just goes.
It's crazy.
Here's the thing on Mahomes. So you're seeing there's this new documentary on the Chiefs run for 3 that's going to be on ESPN and Disney Plus. I believe they announced it yesterday. It's going to be on August 14th. I have a friend who worked on that.
Really? That's cool.
And it's going to be amazing. And I saw some sneak peek stuff, but this is the cool story, and I don't think they'd have a problem with me sharing this.
Spoiler!
They lose the Super Bowl, and it's like, walking out of that stadium the way it went, like Brett Veach is beside himself, Mahomes is beside himself, Chris Jones is devastated. They have Tuesday morning, Mahomes is in the gym. And Mahomes is working out. Remember, the Super Bowl ends Sunday night at 1 a.m., and they've got their cameras here for this kingdom, this whole thing, which I think is going to be awesome. And Mahomes is working out that Tuesday morning. And this is the same stuff that you might say, oh, whatever, every player is. This is Michael Jordan last dance stuff. This is when we lose to the Pistons, we get in the gym that morning and we encourage Scottie Pippen to get and follow the lead. We encourage Horace Grant. I just think they are so dialed in, and they had that picture of him at the party with Britney and he's got a little dad bod, and everyone had their fun with that. He reads and hears everything. Mahomes is a killer. I think this is actually the last thing you want to do is start questioning Mahomes' dedication or his fitness and what they have, because truth be told, they got better on the offensive line. They're going to have healthy wide receivers. They added some talent on the defensive side. I don't know, Kansas City, you start questioning them and you start considering how they lost that Super Bowl and how embarrassed they were. I wouldn't be shocked if they come out guns blazing to start the season.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped to watch this particular team. Legit. I don't know who's blocking in that whole thing for him. Let's assume Andy Reid will figure that all out. I just have faith in Veach and Andy Reid. But Patrick Mahomes being the guy that is washed in some people's eyes is a cool little thing. That's a cool little thing for Patrick Mahomes to get to. Oh, is that right?
What can you do? You have to find ways to motivate yourself. And what's going to motivate me? What's the chip on the shoulder this year? Well, it might as well be everyone taking a crap all over me and my physique. Whatever it is.
They
whatever
took
you
a crap
can.
on it? You're saying through a hammock?
Figuratively speaking.
We're talking antivirus.
I'm not related to him. But I did see that he enjoyed that type of stuff.
Sure. Through a hammock. They mush it through there?
To each their own.
Do you feel like there's really a contingent of people who are really counting Mahomes and the Chiefs? The best is behind. Is that real?
Broncos are the most bet team to win a division in the NFL.
Boom.
What are their odds? Their odds are probably
plus 240.
And what are the Chiefs' odds to win?
Probably even.
Minus 240.
So I don't know, but I think people watch the ass beating of the Super Bowl, and I think we're a pretty simple species, humans. We see.
I think the Ravens. The Ravens are favored over them in the AFC. I think the Eagles, they're not the Super Bowl favorites out of the AFC this year. That's based on what Las Vegas is saying, not even my opinion.
It's Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, because Baltimore signed Chuck Pagano.
That's right.
We did.
This offseason.
And that's not disrespectful. It's just those two teams. People think they're going to break through. Maybe that's fair.
Yeah,
they're plus 750. I haven't seen one bad thing about Mahomes this year. I remember the body thing, Schrager, but you just said that their O-line's going to be better. And last year, all we did was talk about how Joe Thuney might be the greatest left guard in the history of football. How is their O-line better when they lose a Hall of Fame guard?
That's fair. I'm talking about the left side. I mean, they got Josh Simmons in the draft, obviously.
You got me.
Thuney is, and he was their MVP last year. He stepped in and played left tackle, but eventually, I'm like, wait a second. Nah, you know what?
That's pretty good call there. Pretty big question mark. Pretty big question mark.
Right? The draft is about
once again, though, we just assume Veach and Andy Reid will figure it out.
They could draft 2 guards in the 5th round, and I would think that one of those 2 guys.
Now, they could draft 2 guards. Not that Veach would ever miss like this, but there's a chance you draft a guard to replace somebody, and the guy stinks and doesn't fit in with your group. The offensive line is so fickle and so important, I think.
They have done such a good job drafting. You have to give them the faith on that. But I was thinking more the left side, where Tooney was playing out of position and it was unbelievable. And they got two different guys. They got Moore, the free agent, and then of course Simmons, who everyone says if he's healthy and when he's healthy is probably the steal of the draft at that part in the draft. So we'll see.
I saw Jordan Mailata.
Yep. Oh, God. Holy shit.
He's a big sumbitch.
How is that allowed? How is it? And he played rugby. He can punt.
How does
you have the rugby highlights?
What did he say?
Did
he say no? That was the guy we talked to from Australia. He said he had a cracking left foot.
Mm-hmm. Also a legend.
Legend. Absolute legend.
Also a weapon.
Who was that? Who's from Australia? You just met one of his boys?
No, this is not one. This is another Aussie that was out there. I don't want to give it away too much. The guy's awesome.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
The world will meet him through this show at some point. That was my first time meeting him, and I'm like, would like this guy in my life a little bit more. I have a cracking left foot, mate. Cracking left foot. But Mailata, I believe he played rugby, right? He's a rugby guy?
Yeah.
Rugby.
Could you imagine no pads trying to tackle that thing?
No.
Good luck.
Dude, he's gigantic. Sings.
He's on the Rabbitohs. That was his team, the Rabbitohs. I remember. We did a bunch on him.
He was out at the ESPYs. I saw him a bunch. He was cool. Incredibly
Massive dude. Cool guy.
Got so good at football. Love Stoutland.
Stoutland,
the O-line coach. He's like, well, he's basically do whatever he says, man. I'm like, that's smart. Feels like that's good play.
Jalen Carter. We talked about it a little bit.
Jalen Carter, he's more built like Aaron Donald than I thought. I thought he would be taller.
Not 340. He's like, he's nimble.
He's like Aaron Donald. So whenever you see him, he clearly has leverage on everybody.
Thought he was 6'8".
And then, me too.
In my mind, the stories you hear, Baby Rhino, everything, it's like, okay, this guy is massive.
No, he's just wildly strong.
Yeah, very strong.
He might be the strongest guy because
he might be the best defensive lineman in football.
I mean, the best defensive player.
Yeah, no question. And you meet him, and he's just like, what a weapon.
Yeah.
That entire Eagles team was there. It's like, why weren't you at the ESPYs? That feels like a Schrager, doesn't it?
It totally is. I would be there in like a gold suit. Unfortunately, I was hosting. I was hosting Get Up that day, so I was doing the Derby stuff while you were at the Derby. I was doing Get Up, so I was always like starting the day for the Pat McAfee Show of later in the day.
Oh, very nice of you kicking that off. You could have used our set though at both these places to do these shows.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, next year. I saw Kirk Herbstreit putting. I was jealous. I wanted to get in on all that. That looked fun.
Kirk Herbstreit, fresh out of a 5-month hiatus.
Must be nice. Oh man, those guys like
he earned it. 30 years. 30 years. 30 years. 30 years. 30 years. He's earned it. He's earned it. I think. That's
he worked his ass off during the season.
That's all I keep telling him is like, you've earned this just disappearing for 5 months, going to 50 different beaches, golfing.
Pat, who is the coolest guy you hadn't met or gal at the ESPYs? That like first time you met?
Jerry Jeudy.
By a mile.
By a mile. Jerry Judy's the guy. Yeah, we love Jerry.
I want Jerry Jeudy in a New England Patriots or Colts or Packers or Steelers or any of D-But's teams so bad so we can follow him.
Yeah, I'm pulling for the Browns now because Jerry Jeudy. To be honest.
Tell me, what about him? Just electric personality? What?
He's a South Florida boy. I mean, that is that is all you need to know. That is all.
Yeah. Who's the coolest guy you know, Schrager?
The coolest guy I know, Jerry Jeudy. Apparently,
triple it. Yeah, that's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good answer.
He was awesome. I saw him. I was in the elevator upon check-in with him and his crew. And the interaction between us was epic. I mean, it was sweet interaction. He had a great group around him. So then I go to my room, and then I get changed like 15, 20 minutes, come back to the elevator. We're in this elevator going back down. Same exact plans, whatever it was. We're going to our room, then we're coming back down. So I spent a lot of time with Jerry Jeudy immediately upon getting in. Pretty personal space, so a lot of chit-chat. Then we leave the place. I come back. Jerry Jeudy and his boys are right in the middle of the lobby.
Yep.
Like literally. So I see him again. So I'm like, hey, we're doing a show tomorrow. Just come through whenever you want to come through. We'd love you to have you or whatever. He goes, all right, bet. Then next morning, our schedules were the exact same. There's hundreds of people in this hotel, if not thousands of people in this hotel at this time. Everybody has different things. Me and Jerry Judy's schedules were just like at the exact same time. He was going to get a workout in. He was like, when I get back from this workout, I'll come over. I'm like, sweet. He went over to UCLA, I think. Then he came back, walked over. Was not a golfer at all. Rolled a pretty good couple putts.
Not bad.
And then we go to the ESPYs. He's sitting right behind us. I mean, it was just like, this guy was awesome. He was cool the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That's a story I love, Pat, because, we know these guys as fantasy football players, what they do on Sundays, but I love hearing that off the field in July, this guy was the man.
Electric. And he was just trying to literally, and then we go to Shane's after party. Jerry Judy's there. I mean, it was literally, we saw him everywhere. And every time, by the end of it, it was like, Jerry, what up,
Jerry!
man? What up, man, Jerry? I think Connor even
when we were at the ESPYs, yeah, because since he came on the program to do the putting on Wednesday, when we were at the ESPYs, I just saw him wandering around, so I was like, Jerry, over here, which like we never do when we're in these.
And then he came and joined us.
And then he came over and he hung out for 20 minutes before we went in.
Yeah, I felt like Jerry Jeudy's the guy that I'm pulling for this year, strictly after the
quarterback. Yeah, got to figure it out.
What's that?
Got to figure out a quarterback.
They got 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's right. You got 4, you got 1.
And I tried to get it out of him. Who's been doing what? Who's separating themselves? And he said, great group of guys. But he's coming off a career year. Since he's come in the league, that's kind of been the thing. You obviously, as a wide receiver, you need a good quarterback, need a good play caller, good offensive line. But when he was coming out in that draft, and even when he was at Bama, like he was picked as like one of the next guys. So glad he got paid. And as a wide receiver, you always want to see good wide receivers play with good quarterbacks, a good organization.
My first time talking to him in that elevator, I was like, "Do you live out here, or where do you live in the off season?" And he goes, "I'm a Florida boy, you know that." Mm-hmm. That was his only answer. And I started laughing. I was like, of course, yeah. I get it.
Wait. You did game day, obviously, with him a million times, and he was killer. But I've met him several times. Like, tell the audience, like, Shane Gillis is the most normal guy you'll ever meet. Like, the best. Like, just incredible. Just as if he had never been a superstar and isn't selling out stadiums. Every interaction I've had with him, he is just the coolest, most low-key, hilarious guy.
Shane is hilarious. He's the right guy for the job.
No doubt.
That's just why he's the right guy for his job that he's doing currently. He is the right guy for it. And, we've known him a while now. Very lucky to know him for a long time. Football guy, dude. He's a football guy. Mm-hmm. You hear some of the locker room when you hear Shane talking. Yeah. The locker room in like 2004, 5, 6.
The best locker.
It's like a nostalgia trip every time he's talking. It's like, we're right back in it.
When I spoke to him last year, his conversation, he wanted to ask me like how I was at the college football video game because he had just gotten it and was so like into it. I'm like, that's a normal guy. All right, you're playing the college football video game.
Also, he would. And we're gaming, and I have to get like an answer out of him.
Sorry, dude. Third down.
Sorry, what's that? And then we're back in there. It's like, all right, good luck out there, man. I'm pulling for you. He's the right man for the job, as are you. We appreciate you joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, insider analyst, Peter Schrager.
Yeah, Schrager.
Love what Trey